Hello and welcome to this video edition of Technomicon Media. This is Matthew and today we're looking at The Witcher 2. So just as in Witcher 1, outdoor content was beautifully rendered, here we have Act 1 in The Witcher 2 with Geralt roaming around. Very reminiscent of The Witcher 1, Outskirts of Vizima. I really enjoy how CD Projekt Red took what was great about The Witcher 1 and improved it with of course, contemporary graphics and made the game look new and advanced while still giving the same feel that The Witcher 1 had in terms of exploration and interacting with NPCs and interacting with environmental objects and whatnot. There are, of course, a number of changes in The Witcher 2 in terms of gameplay and the feel of the UI, but I think the cohesiveness of the outdoor environment and the exploration and just the nature of exploring the game area gives the players a great feel.
Careful there.
So one of the first changes I want to touch upon in The Witcher 2 are the addition of several new armor slots. For those familiar with The Witcher 1, the main armor that Geralt could equip in The Witcher 1 was, of course, body armor and rings. In The Witcher 2, you can see here that Geralt can equip, of course, a chest piece armor, leggings, boots, gloves, in addition to the Witcher steel and silver swords. And here we have the character's talent tree. It's much more of a branching path now than it was in The Witcher 1, although it still feels very similar in terms of upgrading specific abilities. Of course, for those familiar with The Witcher 1, the player could upgrade various types of sword attacks and art abilities and various sign abilities, I should say, as well as, improving things like alchemy or herbalism. And those things are all back in The Witcher 2, but now it's more of a progression path. And in addition to these changes to the way the trees are laid out, but mutagens are now equipable in the talent trees versus standalone upgrades. Of course, Meditate is back in The Witcher 2. For those familiar with The Witcher 1, Meditate is the way that your main character, Geralt, is able to create potions and various types of grinding stones, or sword augmenting stones, as well as to spend talent points. The biggest change for Meditate in The Witcher 2 is that the ability Drink Potions is now only usable during Meditate, which is a change that I didn't care for really that much, because I was used to the on-the-fly usage of potions in The Witcher 1, and I felt that using potions in The Witcher 2, aside from basic potions like Cat, which is a potion that allows you to see in the dark, just wasn't convenient. And here we have some combat in The Witcher 2. Combat took a pretty big change for players familiar with The Witcher 1 in terms of combat styles are pretty much out, and the only thing that remains the same is, of course, having Steel Sword for humans and Silver Sword for monsters. I'm not entirely sure why they ditched both combat styles as well as combat combos, but those are both out, and now there's a new gauge dealing with adrenaline, which, as you could just see, creates these one-shot kill moves. Another big change in The Witcher 2, and specifically for combat, and I think that this one is a change for the better, is the way boss fights are handled. Boss fights in The Witcher 2 are much more heavily scripted, and they're not just about dropping HP down to 0 and being done with the fight. In The Witcher 2, of course, fights are segmented and heavily scripted, whereas instead of just killing the boss, you may have to disable a portion of it and then ride it or climb on top of it or do many types of dynamic things which really didn't occur in The Witcher 1, and I think it was a pretty cool change. Here you can see disabling of these giant tentacles, and then, how that affects the rest of the fight. Another change to game mechanics in The Witcher 2 is fist fighting. For those familiar with The Witcher 1, fist fighting was really just a button spam, but in The Witcher 2, the player is given signals from the game to input combinations of keys, and not inputting them quick enough can result in taking damage or losing the fight. And of course, inputting them quickly and correctly allows Geralt to do powerful fist fighting combinations. And finally, I wanted to talk about the beautiful modeling that occurs in The Witcher 2. These are actually cutscenes, but they're taken directly from gameplay. So cutscene animations and gameplay animations are more or less the same. If you were traveling around and zoomed in on various NPCs, these are pretty much the same models. There's no distinction between the two, which is very good quality for immersion purposes.
Yet it is precisely his loss that renders our conversation.
And once again, this is Matthew at Technomicon Media saying thank you for watching this Witcher 2 gameplay review. For the full article on The Witcher 2, check us out at www.technomicon.com, and thanks for viewing.